The service of the truth is perfect freedom.
I'm a widow, Mr. Hobbs.
Mm-hmm. And your husband?
Died.
Yes. Well?
I don't like to talk about it.
But you will.
Wages, prices, profits, productivity. You think we spent a year working out the law on prices and incomes, patched it, amended it, brought the service industries into it, provided for incentives without inflation, broke the unions, brought 2 more sectors of the economy under public ownership, fought our principles through the European community, all this, and allow you and your firm to go behind the backs of the Ministry of Labour?
We never raised the wages, we changed the grade.
You changed the grade of every bloody man in the workforce and gave him £10 a week more.
We have the right.
You have no right to break the line. You've got 40 men working on the beryllium process. You'd rather pay £400 a week blackmail than risk unpleasantness, which could cost you $500,000. Well, there won't be any unpleasantness because we don't allow it. Except for you. Don't think you can bend the law of this land just because you're American-owned. You'll regrade those men or I'll have you doing 5 years.
Very well. They won't like it.
I may weep. Well, Hobson. I've sacked the Minister of Labour. Any suggestions for a replacement? It's my latest toy. This side work, that side pleasure. Yes, it was installed by a rather charming young CID sergeant. No, inspector, in fact. We've promoted him. He now looks after security at number 10.
Why?
Well, we found a bug in here, I'm afraid. Not known yet who planted it. In consequence, Walters has been moved to a rather humiliating desk job in a basement at Scotland Yard. And instead, efficiency reigns. Well, how was Oxford?
Much as usual.
And, that business that we were talking about?
Finished. Over without any melancholy consequences. Except that I've lost a friend. That's melancholy, I suppose.
Hmm? How?
Well, by the exercise of considerable ingenuity, I prevented him from defying the censorship and saved him from prosecution. Consequently, he dislikes me.
Well, people often do dislike being saved from themselves, but one has to do it.
And you never heard of my involvement?
Well, one wouldn't really expect to. I've no doubt that Norman has a file on it. No, he's a funny fellow, Norman. I've got the feeling that he's watching me all the time, and I can't think why. I mean, I'm not after Norman's head. There's no point in his going after mine. It's like the Roman Empire, really. To get rid of the emperor, 2 circumstances must obtain. First, get control of the Praetorian Guard. Well, the nearest to that are the G's. And ever since the general died, poor old Rods, what would he make of it all? I haven't appointed a single overall commander. Each of the 8 area commanders are directly responsible to me.
The second necessity, I take it, is a successor.
Oh, there isn't one. Nobody in the cabinet has any following. They're all civil servants.
If you died tonight.
Chaos. Worries me. can't yet see an alternative. Would you know?
Okay.
However, while I do live, it does make the job easier. Think how many tired old emperors there were through that long decline and fall, who kept going simply because there was no obvious successor. The ones without sons lived longest.
You have a son.
And now let us touch each other. Try and relax completely. Relax the body, relax the mind, and touch. Touch. That's good. Touch her. Feel his face. That's good. Good. Now don't be afraid. Just touch each other. Feel each other. That's good. Good. We don't touch each other enough nowadays. We should. Now, touch is a language. And we're going to learn that language. Now, don't be afraid. And touch him. Touch him. That's good. Good.
I wanted to see you. I thought we should talk.
Yes?
You're not still touring the country for your father, finding things out.
But
We have to keep an eye on you. And given the pattern of your movements, it was obvious what you were doing.
You say we.
And the police, you're a valuable person.
So I've recently been told.
That Oxford business, yeah. I thought you might like the file. The case is closed. There'll be no consequences. I haven't mentioned it to your father.
No. I have.
Ah.
I'm being warned, is that it?
No. The things I should like you to see. Some to study. This is a detailed list with explanatory notes of the achievements and intentions of your father's government. Prices and incomes, penal reform, population control, pollution. Do you know, we shall have a viable electric automobile in 2 years, and in 5 there won't be a petrol-driven car on the roads. That's not just pollution control, of course. It's foreign affairs. No more humiliating dependence on the Middle East. Everything is interconnected, and it's all here.
But I don't see why.
Because you ought to know.
That's why he nationalized the oil companies.
Yes, if there's going to be opposition, it's easier to get rid of it before one acts instead of having to deal with it afterwards. And talking of opposition, there are these.
Jeff Hollis.
A decent man, your father's friend, a humane Home Secretary, stabbed through the neck with a skewer disguised as a rose. The man with him was duped into murdering him, and then himself murdered.
Yes.
Then there were the 3 men killed by the Manchester group, the kidnappers, all shot through the head, as you see. Next, 2 teenagers, brother and sister. They were killed by guardians. You see, I'm frank with you. Their father had allowed them to get involved in that silly romantic business of the pirate radio. It's settled now. Then, to show why some guardians may behave like brutes, we have the dead and wounded in the bombing incidents at Fulham and Redditch. Next, no, that's a harmless Scots nurse, battered to death with an iron bar by a known communist, Thomas Weston, escaping from the rehabilitation centre. Next.
I love you.
Good.
I love the hair that grows out of your nose and your ears. You have blackheads. I love your blackheads. And the little red blotches on your cheeks.
No, no, she loves you. You're lovely. Now say it.
I'm lovely.
I love your nose. And your bald head.
Now take his glasses off.
I love your eyes. And the wrinkles under them. And the little bits of mucus in the corners.
Now undo his tie and undo the buttons of his shirt.
And that?
Oh, that shouldn't be there. At least there's no reason to suppose so. The girl burned herself to death. on Primrose Hill, coloured, under a deportation order. Doused herself with petrol and lit a match. Very nasty. Censorship decision, should the picture be published.
You do keep occupied.
No, not with censorship. Decisions of that sort are routine and can be delegated. The media censor themselves once you lay down the guidelines. The kidnapping affair, for instance, couldn't be publicised until the case was solved. A large-scale incident, a bombing affair, can't be kept quiet because too many people know about it. We put it down to communists, particularly if innocent people are hurt.
And is it the communists?
Might be, unlikely. And then there's a something or someone called Quarmby. I don't think it's anybody's name, and I can't make any sense out of the initials. There seems to be very little coordination, almost like terrorism for its own sake. No organisation to penetrate. They don't want credit for themselves, they just want to discredit the government. You haven't, I suppose, in your wondering...
No.
Unlikely you would. You realise why I've shown you the pictures.
Yes. Objects and achievements of government, reasonable and good. Resistance to government, violent, irrational, harmful.
Your father wouldn't have put it to you so open.
No. My father's a shy man. With me, at least. I'll study the files.
Oh, thank you.
I'll give you a thought before I go. A sane man, if he were a family man, I suppose a sane man wouldn't get involved in this kind of resistance at all, but if he did, at least he'd try to get his family out of the country if he could. A middle-class, sane man, that is, one with the money to do it.
What a very interesting idea.
And perhaps you'd do something for me.
Yes?
Stop having me watched. If anyone wants to make away with me, I'm sure it's not difficult, whether I'm watched or not.
The service of the truth is perfect freedom.
Communion of the body is communion of the mind.
Communion of the mind is communion of the body.
In thought is feeling, in feeling is thought.
In mind is body, in body is mind.
The service of the truth is perfect freedom.
The mind is a prison, the body is a prison. Mind and body in the prison of self. By release from self, mind-body goes free.
Release us from self, mind, body
free.
goes free.
Let the mind-body of all here go out to our sister Ruth, who has become one with us.
Ruth, my sister. Ruth, my sister. Ruth, my sister. Ruth, my brother. Ruth, my sister. Ruth, my brother. Ruth, my sister. My sister, my brother. Ruth, my sister. My brother.
Hobson speaking. Claire, where are you speaking from?
Ruth, my sister, Ruth, my brother, Ruth, my sister, brother, Ruth, my brother, sister, Ruth, my sister, Ruth, my brother, Ruth, my sister, brother, Ruth, my brother, sister, Ruth, my sister, Ruth, my brother, Ruth, my sister, brother, Ruth, my brother, sister, Ruth, my sister, Ruth, my brother, Ruth, my sister, brother, Ruth, my brother, sister.
Tom's escaped.
How do you know?
I was told.
When?
Yesterday.
I went to see him at the centre.
Do you still love him? Is that why you wouldn't...
I didn't want to see you.
I kept phoning. Stupid. But I didn't know. I thought you'd gone off me. Very wounding to the pride. How was he when you saw him?
Stoned, I thought.
Yes, it's in the food. He's your husband. You loved him, didn't you? You really loved him.
Yes.
And me? I love you, Claire. I didn't think I could love anybody. I really am. very inexperienced at being in love.
Self-obsessed.
I wanted to tell you.
I knew it.
Now he's escaped.
Yes, he's with me.
God, I'm not sure whether I'm still being followed.
Still?
Because I'm the Prime Minister's son. I asked him to stop.
I'd better go. I could be recognized.
No. I'll watch when you go. I don't think they would. Anyway, I mean, if nobody's following already, there's nothing in this meeting to make them. Please, don't go yet.
I haven't been out. I'm not at the flat. Naturally, they'll be as thick as beetles there. Nobody knows where he is. He's not very well. I wanted to see you. I wanted to touch you.
I ache for you.
It'll come right. One way or another.
You came to me with a question. What's the point, yes?
Yes.
Everybody who comes here brings that question. Most people over the age of 40 carry it about with them, and it's a heavy weight. What's the point? Why bother to go on living? What am I looking forward to? What's it all for? The fat man asks, why do I feed my face? For comfort, but it doesn't bring him comfort. And you're not fat, Patience.
I tried to watch my weight.
The lecher pursues a series of orgasms, each more shabby as he grows older. You know, we had a woman here once who used to seduce 14-year-old boys in the changing room of the clothes shop where she worked.
Oh, I was never unfaithful. Except...
In your thoughts. It doesn't matter. Your husband committed suicide.
Yes. Oh, not because...
No. His firm was economizing and they let him go. You had a 4-door saloon car, a detached house in a good neighborhood. And nobody wanted a redundant personnel manager of 47. He couldn't face the drift downwards. So he killed himself and left you the insurance. It's very sensible to have a policy which pays out on suicide.
I never told you.
But I know. I have to know. By his lights, your husband did well by you, only what's the point?
I don't have to live alone. David and his wife, the upstairs could be converted. It's quite self-contained.
Quite self-contained. Do you want your self-contained, Patience?
I don't know what you mean.
Everything we do here is directed toward releasing the self. Now, it doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter what you do. It can happen by just you and me talking together. In group work or in solitude. You search for yourself, Patience. Your real self. And when you find it, you let it go. Free.
There's something which might interest you. I've been making a check on families leaving the country.
Emigrating? That's hardly a problem.
No, leaving. Wife and children, children unaccompanied, wife alone, absent after an interval of more than 3 weeks, therefore unlikely to be on holiday.
With what object?
Suppose a man were engaged in some dangerous, treasonable activity. If he could afford it, he'd send his family to safety. I wondered how many families were out of the country, and whose.
And you found?
A long list. It'll take time to question everyone. Most will have good reasons. Hugeson's on it, oddly enough, your ex-Minister of Labour. His wife left for the Bahamas 3 months ago. More interestingly...
No, well, don't make a meal of it.
Benedict.
But I saw his
The children
wife
to
only...
Canada for an indefinite stay.
That's not in itself suspicious.
Add 2 facts to it. Wilson, the man who murdered Geoffrey Hollis, was interviewed by Benedict shortly before he disappeared. And it was Benedict who sent that tramp fellow to the rehabilitation centre, the one who shared Weston's cell and appears to have connived at his escape.
Well, he's a psychiatrist. He's not political.
Ultimately, anyone is political if he's against the government.
You find out where Hobson got the money to send his wife to the Bahamas.
A subsidiary of the American company Dulcimer Diamex. The 40 men, involved in an industrial disagreement over regrading, unanimously withdrew their labour. Since the men appear to have acted spontaneously and no ringleader can be found, there will be no prosecution under the 1979 Industrial Relations Act. The process, although highly technical, is not complicated, and a new workforce will be recruited and trained. Meanwhile, the company is said to be losing over £500,000 a week, and men have been laid off in...
And so we have the 4 elements. Air, breathe the air. Earth, touch the earth. Water, drink the water. And fire. All natural things are good. And now, give your gifts.
What is it?
A turd.
All natural things are good.
How many?
3 dead, 14 more in hospital.
Dead?
Well, the orders were to prevent damage.
It's a £5 billion investment in that plant.
You could have left them alone. They weren't doing any harm sitting in.
Well, the orders were, sir, to remove the strikers so as to allow the newly trained men to begin work, without damage to the equipment of the shop. On being requested to move, the men refused. My men put on respirators. One of the strikers had a sledgehammer. He threatened to smash an electronic control box if we were to use anti-personnel gas. In fact, he said his mates would start smashing things up anyway if we hadn't taken off our respirators by a count of 5. On a count of 4, I shot him. The situation then became confused.
Was damage, in fact, prevented?
No.
Then, as I gather, the rest of the workforce came out.
Ringleaders?
As the news reached each shop floor, and it could hardly be kept quiet, the men just downed tools and left.
I imagine we can find ringleaders if you want ringleaders.
I don't want a ringleader. You say you shot the man. You, personally.
I told you so. My orders were to prevent damage to expensive equipment.
You shot him dead, not...
Standing orders for the Guardian state...
I am aware of those standing orders.
1 death, Prime Minister, may prevent.
Didn't, in this case, prevent wholesale slaughter. Have the Major placed under arrest pending a court of inquiry.
Lord, you weren't looking for scapegoats. If you'd allowed us to regrade the men in the first place, Sir Timothy, none of this would have happened.
We have to break you down, Patience. Until we do that, nothing can start to happen.
Very odd.
Well, the G's won't like it. The Guardians, the Guardian officers as a corps, won't care for it.
With no choice.
They've been under strain lately, not just bombing incidents, stone throwing, particularly at the sterilisation centres. General provocation. Girls who go out with Guardians have been made to feel... Small things, I agree, very minor matters, nevertheless.
British troops in Northern Ireland in the early 70s had more to put up with than mere stone throwing.
There's a feeling an example should be made.
It looks as if an example will be made.
I think you should back the Major.
Oddly enough, I think I should too. As you say, he was under strain and believed himself to be carrying out orders, but I don't see how I'm going to be able to.
If you allow yourself to be intimidated by the working classes...
Oh, my dear Norman.
The 1979 Act has subsequently amended...
Broke the unions. Since then, we've preempted strikes by a fair wages policy. Carrot and stick works well enough in the ordinary way, but this is out of the ordinary way.
You exaggerate.
Men are dead. Shot by the G's. Others in hospital. As soon as they heard the news, they just downed tools and walked out. Shop stewards didn't lead them. They weren't manipulated at mass meetings. They just heard about the shooting and walked out. And as the news spreads further, other men in other industries may as easily walk out.
The news won't spread. We control the media, huh?
You going to cut off every telephone in the Garden City and put a cordon round it? No. The news will be released as soon as possible. News of the shooting and the fact that Major Clark has been placed under arrest. And that a court of inquiry will be held tomorrow. It will be held in public and as near to the scene of the incident as possible.
The court may exonerate him.
It will not exonerate him. It will find that he has grossly exceeded his orders and has been directly responsible for the death of 3 men. Consequently, he will be charged with murder, found guilty, and executed. It will be an act of the most gross injustice, but it must be done if we are not to have a general strike.
I used to go out in the car and buy a gallon jar of sweet British sherry. My husband wouldn't have it in the house, you know, that kind of thing. He had a refined taste in wines. He'd read books on it. Oh, you have to if you're to know the right kind of people. There was always a very dry Spanish sherry or malt whiskey for those who preferred it. But I'd sit indoors all day with a television on, drinking sweet sherry. And then I'd get rid of the flagons at night.
Can I get you anything? Do you take anything?
No, of course, good sir. It's a minor matter, very minor.
I saw the last attack, if you remember. If it was the last. How many have you had?
4, only 4. This is the 4th. Passes very quick. Rather you would, good sir.
Well, you don't like anyone to see you at a disadvantage.
You?
I'm human. There's little point in disguising that. Consequently, I get colds, headaches, sweat, fart after eating beans. I'm often at a disadvantage because that's a human condition. And if I need help, I'm not ashamed to ask for it.
I hate weakness.
What on earth would you do if somebody ever became fond of you? You protect yourself against it, of course. Affection. You pick people like me, and you're a careful picker. You don't pick many, I'd say, and half as many as you fancy.
No.
People like me. Masculine, and usually married. I imagine you prefer us married, don't you? You get more pleasure. Discreet, intelligent, and ambitious. Oh, there's nothing queer about us, but we don't mind obliging from time to time in return for favours received. Strictly quid pro quo. You wouldn't like straight trade because there's too much risk, but we are not a risk. And no affection involved. I've known you longer than most, I suppose, and yet I've never used your first name. I know what it is. I looked you up in Who's Who.
Dennis.
Dennis Ruthven. Your mother's name. No hobbies listed.
You're very thorough.
Known for it. And what would you do? Whatever would you do if one of us were to get fond of you?
It's not likely, is it?
Maybe not. You're going to see somebody about that heart trouble.
I told you I don't see...
See a doctor. For one thing, it may only be indigestion. Dennis.
This time we're allies.
Yes, sir. I was afraid you might have hard feelings.
I was
about
afraid you might.
We were both wrong then. I've brought the file.
I don't know. Stupid. I don't know why I phoned Norman, except that I'm feeling rather spare at the moment and badly in need of occupation.
What takes your mind off other worries?
Yes. Once upon a time, I used to drift in and out of jobs quite happily. But being my father's son now makes a difference.
It's hard if you're not brought up to it. I remember seeing Prince Charles parachuting into the English Channel on TV, and I thought, the things he has to do.
It's hardly comparable.
No, of course not. There's not much on the girl, I'm afraid. Name Ruth Griffiths, father from Nigeria. Brought her over when she was 2. The case seemed clear. She was under a deportation order for shoplifting and committed suicide in a rather spectacular way. Well, you could understand the suicide. She'd nothing to look forward to in Nigeria. Well, she'd have no recollection of it. Still, the 1975 Immigration Act doesn't give the magistrate an option.
Odd method, then.
Oh, I've known odder. I've known a man force his head into the burner of his central heating unit. Wanted to punish himself.
If you look carefully at the photograph, you'll see she's sitting in the lotus position.
Sir?
It's a position in yoga. And that's odd, you see. Or do you?
In one word, no.
Suicide's to do with despair. You said yourself she had reason to despair. Yoga's to do with serenity. It's the opposite. And there's a contradiction. I wondered why. Did you know Primrose Hill was built by the Druids?
What you're really asking is, would I take over? In a sense. Tempting offer. Is it an offer? Of course not. It's a hypothetical question. The Prime Minister won't live forever, and my own job as General Administrative Dog's Body... Oh, come. A cog, a fulcrum, a wheel turning at the heart of affairs. Please don't mock me, General Whittaker. I'm sorry. I have a responsibility. Anything may happen. The succession must be provided for to avoid confusion. Isn't that his responsibility? Providing for a successor? Well, he gives no sign of doing so. You'll agree that's understandable. I'll agree. You haven't answered my question. You're persistent? Yes. It would mean a return to military government. It could. Well, people may be more ready for it now. Rog wouldn't have it. He insisted on a front man, and then he gave way for him and died. It might be possible to find a front man, a straw prime minister, more prepared to remain so than Hobson was. The problem is, I'm not Rog. None of us is. I might be tempted, but there are 7 other area commanders, and they wouldn't like it, to say nothing of the regular army. Council of 4, 5, something like that. It's a recipe for civil war. I've no fancy to play Antony to Hawkins' Octavius. I see. Still, I'm glad we've had this conversation. What do you think of Fugison?
Chris wants to play detective.
Well, help him.
How much do you want him to know?
About?
The coloured girl who burnt herself.
How much is there to know?
More than appears.
Feel silly, feel clever, all your dreams will end in dust. Oh, my dear,
He's always playing that nowadays.
A military court of inquiry into the recent affair at the Dulcimer Diamex factory at Hertford Beecham, at which 3 workers were shot, has found that Major Thomas Clark, officer in charge of the Guardians detachment attempting to disperse the sit-in, grossly exceeded his orders in resorting to an undue use of force. Immediately after the court announced its findings, Major Clark was arrested and charged with murder. Some workers on the night shift have already returned to the factory, and many more are expected to do so tomorrow.
What do you think of Hugison?
Oddly enough, General Whittaker asked me the same question.
Then you know why I'm asking? No, he said he'd no doubt I'd be talking to you and other area commanders. And if none of you mentioned Hewgerson, he'd be pleased to oblige, but he was sure you would.
Charlie Whittaker. He's always been a frivolous devil and still is. I can never understand why Rog pushed him.
And Hewgerson?
Came to see me, we had a chat. Talked to Whittaker too, did he? Well, he was bound to. He's, been fired, I hear.
Hewgerson? Yeah.
Why?
I wasn't present.
It doesn't mean you don't know.
Well, as Minister of Labour, Hewgerson had departmental responsibility for the prices and incomes policy. It seems he went behind the Prime Minister's back to show favour to Dulcimer Dymex, they're American-owned. He might have thought it was good foreign relations, but that's not his department.
Ah. I wondered if Hobson had heard anything. Fact is, Hewgerson... Oh, the man's a damn fool, clearly.
Yes?
He wanted to know if the area commanders would back him in a takeover. He was offering money. A bribe.
He wouldn't have insulted you, I imagine, with a small sum.
No, he insulted me with a large sum. Multiply by 8, and I'd say it was more than one man could afford.
I see.
I sent him away with a flea in his ear, and I imagine Charlie Whittaker did the same. I've got nothing against Hobson. Except...
The business of Major Clark. Yes. It is worrying.
All natural things are good.
Testimony?
Yes, I want to tell you. I want to tell everyone. I have fasted 3 days. I have drunk only water and lemon juice. I have touched strangers in the streets.
Communion of the bodies. Communion of the mind.
I have opened my mind to infinite being. I love you. I love you. I feel understanding and love for everyone. I look at the unhappy strangers in the streets, and I have this thought. I love you, and I know you better than you know yourselves.
Release from self, mind, body goes free.
For I am in the way to find the truth, and that's his freedom.
The service of the truth is perfect freedom. Patience shall go with me a while. The rest disperse when you will. Sit down, Patience. Tell me, Patience, will it distress you to leave us? I have to ask. It hurts me to distress you.
Why?
Well, there was something you didn't tell me, I think. Oh, you must have known I'd find out.
What?
Don't you know?
No. I told you no lies. The machine would
Well,
have...
it is only a machine. It knows when you're lying, but not when you're holding back information for which I haven't asked.
What information?
Well, we sent you, as we send everyone, for a medical check. Now, I'm not a doctor. I can help you find a meaning for life, but not a cure for death.
You do provide a cure for death.
That was a just reproof. You didn't know, then?
Cancer. I shall bear it. I have the strength now.
You could transcend it. Beat it. You could be an example. An example to the whole world, an example of purity. A sacrifice.
I could be free.
You asked me how Hewgerson got the money to send his wife to the Bahamas. CIA.
What?
A particularly incompetent plot. Since President Agnew's election, the CIA has been more than usually strange. You're regarded, I suppose, as having dangerously left-wing tendencies. Nationalisation, dividend restriction. They looked over the cabinet and chose Hugheson to replace you. He was to bribe the Guardian's area commanders and with their help turn you out.
Ridiculous man.
Do you want anything done with him?
Well, having met his wife, I think the worst punishment would be to send him to join her in the Bahamas. So they were all loyal to me. How easily one takes that for granted. And I've never liked the G's.
You get on well enough with Whittaker?
Well, he's an agreeably frivolous character. But I'm surprised that the others should care for me.
The General chose you Prime Minister. They're all his protégés. In any case, they regard you as an able man, whereas Hugheson is clearly a fool.
Thank you.
However, I must make it plain to you that loyalty can be strained.
Major Clark.
Yes, I know her. She's a member of our community. Is? Well, she hasn't been in for a while.
Come try to find out why.
Oh, we don't tie our members anyway. They come to us and leave us of their own choice.
And if she needed help? If she were hurt or ill? If she were dead?
Well, that is a disadvantage of the system.
What is the system exactly?
I beg your pardon?
What does your church teach? And how do you go about that?
Were any other suggestions made? Was mutiny, for example, suggested?
You're registered as a church. How do you recruit your members?
Oh, they come to us.
How?
Well, they hear of us.
How?
How does one hear of a church?
You tell me.
Personal recommendation.
That is one way, certainly.
Who recommended Ruth? She burned herself to death, publicly. The police haven't been able to find any close friends. We'd like to know who sent her here.
Very much.
What a terrible thing.
Did she make friends in your church? Maybe you better talk to them.
No, we don't encourage the extension of the community outside the church itself.
Convenient.
He still hasn't said who sent her.
Nobody sent her. She came by herself.
How did she know where to come?
The workforce is already drifting back.
I thought the days when one bribed men to return to work had gone for good.
There was no bribe. A wrong was done and is being righted. Is being seen to be righted.
What a curious way to describe judicial murder.
And where do you advertise? Magazines? Poster sites? In what tobacconist shop window? Or could it be by direct mail, by letters specially written to people you know are likely to respond?
You have no evidence of that. You presume too far.
I presume you take care that any evidence is destroyed.
He can do that with the ones who come to him. The ones who join the church, anyway. I don't see how he can do it with the ones who don't reply.
A letter of sympathy to someone in affliction is not a criminal offence.
No. What's in the cupboard?
Do you have a warrant to search this office?
Want to see one?
That man is not a police officer. 2 police officers are required.
He knows a lot about the law.
Perhaps he needs to.
That man is the Prime Minister's son.
Would they settle for manslaughter?
Some squalid suicide, accident, desertion, someone left alone feeling hurt. So a letter goes out. Not everyone replies. I'm not sure what percentage would reply, but some of them do. They come here, an interview. You hitch them up to that damn machine, and by the time you finish, you know if they're any good to you. How many groups have you got in your parascientific church?
In London, 10.
About 60 people more in the provinces. You've only been going for a year. Why do you do it?
Well, we are a church, registered as such.
Means you're a charitable organisation. Donations free of tax. Do you get many donations? I mean, you'd need donations. It takes an organisation to do what he's doing. Just going through the local papers, picking out news items to find suitable respondents, it doesn't come cheap.
I said, why do you do it? Why did you induce this girl to set fire to herself on
You have no
Primrose Hill?
possible evidence of that. You have no evidence of anything whatsoever.
Oh, we have evidence. Not enough for a criminal charge, I agree.
But we have.
No, not enough. We need a live witness, as our friend here knows very well, and even then it would be dicey. But we know enough to lean on you a little. I disapprove of illegal pressures, being a member of the police force, but my colleagues in the Gs, they're not always fussy.
Oh, I'm
if
not
the law
sure.
can't touch him.
I agree.
And as for why you do it, we might be able to send him for a psychiatrist report. Truth drug. Better tell us. Because there's money behind him, and money means people pulling the strings. I think when you've reported our conversation, you'll be packed up. No further use for you.
But our church depends on trust, on sympathy, on calm and close communion. If our meetings are to be disrupted...
You're right. You better jack it in.
Shall we go?
Oh, you can thank Mr. Hobson for this investigation. It was he put us onto it. Not many of us in the police force have a working knowledge of yoga. It's a fault.
There's no reply. She may have started.
I'm so glad. And, Hugison? Packed off. Another example of the CIA's eccentric behavior has cropped up recently. Your son Christopher's involved.
How involved?
Oh, admirably involved. He's leading the investigation.
He's not a detective?
Amateur. He needs occupation.
But I didn't know
He
that
didn't
you and he
mention
were...
it. Oh, I do suppose he didn't want to bother. He approached me for administrative assistance, since that's my job. I put him in touch with a police officer. Your Inspector Arnold, indeed.
Who hasn't mentioned it either.
Oh, I'm sorry you should feel...
Oh, I'm not jealous, Norman.
Of course not.
Well, this investigation?
One of the odder minority churches, the para-scientific church. The CIA has been subventing it, one might say, inventing it. Unhappy people are played upon until they become capable of extreme acts, usually of self-destruction, since that would be easiest for them.
Why?
Well, a rash of outrageous public suicides might be construed as evidence of widespread discontent and so assist Hugeson's little escapade, if they're capable of that much coordination. They have too much money, the Americans. They waste it. One has only to think of Vietnam.
Come on, Patience. We'll go home.